y'all, it's Kay from the Literary Apothecary and welcome back to my channel. So today I've got a book haul for you all. This is kind of a mixture of a lot of different things going on in this book haul. I've got some books from John, I got some books I'm borrowing from his mom, and I've got a whole box of books that my stepdad got for me. And so first let me do the books that I know about, and then we'll get to the box of books which I have no idea what's in there. So first up from John, I got these three humongous books. They are part of the Warhammer series. I've heard people talk about this, but I haven't read any of these yet. I haven't played the games. John hasn't played the games either, but he wanted to add to my video game books collection. So we have Kotrex and Felix. This is an omnibus of Giant Slayer, Orc Slayer, and Manslayer. I don't know anything about these books, so I don't even know what order I should read these in. So if you guys know about the Warhammer books and you know what order I should read these three omnibuses in, let me know so I can read them in proper order. This is would-be poet Felix Jaeger accidentally signs up for a lifetime of adventure after swearing a drunken oath to the dwarf Gotrek Gurnison. The troll slayer is wandering through the old world, seeking a glorious death in combat to redeem his honor. As the pair survive one adventure after another, with Gotrek vanquishing the most fearsome opponents, will Felix ever be able to fulfill his vow and return to a normal, peaceful life? That's all I know about this. I don't know much about the Warhammer series. Besides that, it's a very popular video game series, and the books are really popular too. Next up, we have the Soul Drinkers Omnibus. This is part of Warhammer 40,000. Genetically engineered superhumans, the Space Marines stand foremost among the warriors who protect the Imperium of Man. The Soul Drinkers have served the Emperor loyally for thousands of years, but their obsessive desire to retrieve an ancient relic throws them into conflict with those they are honor-bound to obey. Faced with an impossible choice, will this proud and noble chapter back down or rebel to forge a new destiny for themselves among the stars? So this Soul Drinkers Omnibus collects together the novel Soul Drinker, The Bleeding Chalice, and Crimson Tears into one action-packed edition. So we have that one, and I kind of love that cover. It's very different and interesting. And then the last book from John that I got is another omnibus of Warhammer 40,000. This is the Eisenhorn Omnibus, which is Xenos, Malleus, and Hereticus. In the grim far future, the Inquisition moves amongst mankind like an avenging shadow, striking down demons, aliens, and heretics with uncompromising ruthlessness. This volume charts the career of Inquisitor Gregor Eisenhorn as he changes from being a zealous upholder of the truth to collaborating with the very powers he once swore to destroy. So that sounds really interesting. Again, another great cover for the Warhammer 40,000 series. I'm really excited to get into these omnibuses and see what this is all about. These will go into my Books My Boyfriend Gave Me series, this video game sub-series that I started with the Gears of War series. Up next are the books that I am borrowing from John's mom, so I'll probably start these sooner rather than later. I've got two books here. The first one is You Say More Than You Think, a 7-day plan for using the new body language to get what you want. Read and fix any situation in 7 seconds or less. This sounded really interesting to me, and John's mom absolutely loved this, so I can't wait to get into this short book and learn some things about body language. And then the other book that I am borrowing from John's mom is Becoming by Michelle Obama. This one might be a reread for me. I might have listened to the audiobook of this one before, but it's been a while since I did, if I did, and I would love to do an immersion read of this. So I'm gonna do an immersion read of this before I give it back. I feel like I remember at least listening to part of this and absolutely loving it, so I can't wait to get to Becoming by Michelle Obama. And then we have this box of books for my stepdad. He said he just goes to the Salvation Army and gets any books that he thinks looks interesting or authors that he's heard of on Jeopardy. He's a big Jeopardy fan. So I have no idea what's in this box besides a ton of books. So we're going to go through them together and see what we can pull out. I won't make any decisions on camera on what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to give away, but if you see books that look interesting to you, let me know in the comments below and I'll sure to put them aside for reading, and let me know if you think I'll like any of these books. So I'm guessing these are going to be a lot of classics if he's heard about them on Jeopardy. First one up is definitely a classic, Rudyard Kipling, The Jungle Books. I thought it was just one book, but maybe it was a short story. This is interesting because I thought The Jungle Book was just one book, but these are a bunch of maybe novellas or short stories. They're, organized in books, book 1, book 2. So I am interested in reading this possibly next year if I have a little bit more time. So that is an interesting find. Next up is The Great Romantics. Oh, yes, these are a bunch of the romantic poets. We've got Lord Byron, Percy Shelley, who was the husband of Mary Shelley, author of Frankenstein, and John Keats. These are definitely poets that I wanted to read at some point. So this one I may also keep for a later time. Okay, we've got some more poetry here. The Norton Anthology of Poetry, which includes Alexander Allison, Herbert Burroughs, Caesar Blake, Arthur Carr, Arthur Eastman, and Hubert English Jr. I don't recognize those names, so this one might be one that I give back to Salvation Army. However, we'll see if I'm in the mood for more poetry. Now we've got, this is apparently a first edition signed by the author. Across the River, Story and Pictures by Michael Pierce. This might be a kid's book. Yes, this looks like it's a kid's book. This one I might give back to, I'm not sure how interested I am in this, but we'll see. Next up is The Concise Oxford Companion to American Literature. I do like American literature, but it will depend on who is in this. This one I probably will give back. This is more like an encyclopedia, more of a companion book, like the Wheel of Time companion, not the actual literature itself. Although you could learn a lot of information. So we'll see about this one. Oh, The Divine Comedy, which I got from John. So this one I will be passing along to someone else, but I am excited to get to this again. Hopefully next year I can read more of the books that John gave me. Exploring Literature Through Reading and Writing. This looks like an old textbook. It has some poems in it, some stories, essays maybe. I might pick through this and read kind of different ones that seem interesting to me. Like I've always wanted to read Flannery O'Connor, and I see that we've got some stuff in here by her, Philip Roth. So I might pick through this and read a little bit, but not the entire book. Emily Dickinson Selected Poems. I've got an Emily Dickinson book here somewhere, probably with these same poems, since this is a lighter one, so I'll probably give this one back. But I do love Emily Dickinson, and when I was in like middle school and high school, I was obsessed with her poetry. So this is a good find, but I have a larger copy of Emily Dickinson's poems that have more poems in it. So I'll probably give this one on to Salvation Army too. The Singing Creek Where the Willows Grow, the Rediscovered Diary of Opal Whiteley. I don't know who that is. Presented by Benjamin Hoff. Captivating World of a True Child of Nature. One of the great forgotten books of the 20th American century. Considering I don't know who this person is or anything about them, I'm not as interested in this. I don't know. Oregon in the 1900s. So she wrote this as a kid, starting as a kid. She was friends with Felix Mendelssohn, who I feel like I should know that. Williams Wordsworth. Oh, she named, okay. So she named different friends that she made in nature, a mouse and a tree, after these famous people. I'm not sure I'm interested in this. This one might be go back. Hidden Figures I am interested in, but I feel like I already got a book from him about this book. I mean, itself, so I will have to double check and make sure that this I was remembering correctly and I do already have this, and if I do, then I will give this on to someone else to enjoy, and if I don't, obviously I'll keep it until I read it. Just a couple more books here. The Tempest by William Shakespeare and Shakespeare of London. A unique account of Shakespeare's life and times. I've already read the collected works of Shakespeare, so that one I definitely will be passing on. This one I probably will too. I'm not as interested in Shakespeare's life as I am in other people's lives. I've read and watched some documentaries on him, and I feel like I know what I need to know about Shakespeare. The Canterbury Tales. I think I already own this. I did want to do a reread of this one day because I didn't have a good experience, and I'm hoping I have a better experience reading this. But I feel like I already own a copy of this, so I will double check my catalog to make sure I do still own this. If I do, of course, I'll pass it on to someone else. If I don't, then I might keep it for when I do get to that reread. Susan Spencer Paul Beguiled. This looks like, yeah, a Harlequin romance. Not very interested in these. Yeah, that one I'll probably pass on too. That doesn't sound... This lady was tricked by her brother into marrying someone else. That doesn't sound right up my alley. And then the last book we have is Brush Up Your Shakespeare, delightfully entertaining guide to the most famous and quotable expressions by the bard. Now this one might be interesting because Shakespeare had a lot of really great expressions and insults, and so it might be fun just to see some of those come through. So I might keep this for a rainy day. But that's it for now. That's my haul. So like I said, if you've seen something that interests you that you want to see on the channel, let me know in the comments below. As always, my Discord and Patreon information will be in the description below. Keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.